Good morning, true crime friends. How y'all doing? Listen, we need to talk about this Daisy Link. Honey! Oh my God. Listen, I know you're like, why do I know that name? Daisy Link is the lady who got pregnant while in prison. She got pregnant by another prisoner because he sent his baby batter through the air vent and she got it and whatever. Anyway, she had this little prison baby. But her case, the reason that she was in jail to start with, has come to trial. It is not at all what I thought it was going to be. Listen, we're going to get into it, but first, you know what you need to do. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share out this madness that I call a YouTube channel. Me and you, we are going to get to 30,000 subscribers together. Okay, so picture it. 2022, Homedale, Florida, or someplace in Florida, because isn't it always Florida, right? This dude, Pedro Jimenez, he's the victim in this case, is goes to see his on-again, off-again girlfriend, Daisy, right? They refer to each other as husband and wife because they've been together for 9 years. That's a real long time. But they were young. So that means that they were basically like teenage love, right? Oh, they've been together forever and ever. And they fought like cats and dogs. And they were on again, off again, back and forth. They're living together. They're not living together. But here's the thing. He was gone most of the time because he was a truck driver, right? They have 2 kids together, ages 5 and 7. And all the time, because, you know, he was gone out of town, he was like, I think you're cheating. I think you're cheating. You know this type. The ones who think you're cheating are always the ones who are actually cheating themselves. In addition to always suspecting Miss Daisy, now listen, let's be clear. I don't know if she was cheating or not. We don't have that information. But he was always suspecting her. The other little thing that he was always doing, he was real good friends with a drink of alcohol. Oh, he loved to drink. Pedro, that was his first love, I believe. Alcohol, not but also marijuana and the cocaine. He wasn't like addicted. He just liked the smell of it a real lot. They used to get in fights back and forth. And a few days before the unfortunate unaliving, they got into a big fight. And he pistol whipped her within an inch of her life. Now look, according to the state's opening, the state skipped right over him pistol whipping her. The state just goes to the night of the incident. According to them, the night of the incident, he's back over at her house on the heels of the pistol whipping, but the state did not tell us this. The defense had to let us know. The state says he's over at her house. They're having a conversation, which turns into an argument because doesn't it always between these two? And she's like, the kids are sleeping. Let's go outside and fight. And so they go outside, but she's like, look, I don't trust this Mama Lou, so I'm going to bring a little gun, you know, like you do when you live in Florida and you have a permit. I mean, I'm assuming she had a permit. I don't know. Anyway. So he starts fussing with her and he's like, I'm going to make you sleep outside. Who does that? Anyway, and so because he had done that before where he had locked her out of the house, she didn't want to sleep outside. And so they go back and forth about it. But to get him to shut up this fight, she walks outside with him and is like, okay, let's discuss it out here. When he gets out of pocket, she pulls a gun and shoots him one time and he runs away. That's what the state said happened. And I was like, okay, that's real interesting. Defense, hit me with it. Now, generally speaking, I hear the state's case and I'm like, that sounds good. That seems about right. I feel like she's going to be convicted. But you know, I keep an open mind. Then the defense got up and told us the rest of the story. The defense acknowledged that, yes, they had been together for 9 years. Yes, it was an on and off again relationship. They had a little boy and a little girl, 5 and 7 years old. A couple of nights before the unfortunate unaliving, Pedro had showed up at her house uninvited and pistol whipped Daisy within an inch of her life. She was messed up. Her face was all messed up. Pedro had been enjoying the fragrance of his favorite cocaine. And he was real high. The only reason he stopped beating Daisy was because the little boy came in and was like, Poppy, please stop. You're hurting mommy. And finally, he let up off of her. Daisy had to go to the hospital. She was all bashed up or whatever. So I was like, oh, it is in this context that Pedro goes to Daisy's house one night, a few nights after the beatation. Pedro goes to Daisy's house. He is uninvited. They have broken up. Also, this is not his house. He does not live there. Daisy has taken him off the lease. He's gone all the time. Remember, he's a truck driver. And so she thinks she's going to live in peace and quiet. And so she happens to have her cousin over. Her cousin comes over with his kids, and they just sitting there. The kids are playing. The adults are talking, like you do when family comes over. Pedro comes over. And he's like, who is this Mama Luke you cheating with now? Because they are Spanish. I don't think he said Mama Luke because that's an Italian word. But he was just like, who is this man? And why is he at the house? I think you're cheating on me. And she's like, you are ridiculous. This is my cousin. I'm not cheating on you. And so they go back and forth, right? Keep in mind, Daisy is tired of this relationship. She's ready to get out. She's preparing to leave the state with her children, right? So, also, Pedro had given up his parental rights to the children. He wasn't taking care of them kids, but Daisy was still like, look, I know that you want nothing to do with these kids, but I want to make sure that the father gets to see his children, that he has an ongoing relationship, even though basically he's thrown his children away. Okay. So one last time, she's like, let me let this man see these kids. So he comes and he's going to see the kids, and he's very, very high. We know from the autopsy that he, again, has been enjoying the fragrance of the nice cocaine. Also, he has a lot of marijuana and a lot of alcohol in his system. When he comes over nice and hot, Daisy is like, oh, what I'm not going to do is this. You going to have to leave. And Pedro was like, yeah, no, I'm not. You can't tell me what to do. And she's like, listen, I can't with all of this. And he was just like, I'm going to do what I want to do. Blah, blah, blah. Now, this is where the defense story and the state story kind of come back together. She says, let's go outside. So because the kids are asleep, we don't want to fight in front of them. They go outside. The fight continues, right? And so they're back and forth. To get him to get away from her, she pulls out her handy dandy pew pew and shoots him in the foot. She's shooting to like make him go away, not to unfortunately unalive him. Her bad luck. The bullet goes in his heel, travels up his leg, and goes out the front of his leg, but it hits a major artery in the leg. He bled out on the scene. Child, he was dead before the cops got there. But if the bullet had not unfortunately unalive him, the level of cocaine in his system was so high that the coke would have killed him anyway. So Daisy helped? I mean, listen, obviously, we here at Gossip, Rumor, and Innuendo do not advocate for the unfortunate unaliving of anybody, anywhere, at any time. Also, you should probably try real hard not to shoot people unless you absolutely have to. And Daisy felt like she absolutely had to. And so, look, according to the Ring doorbells, after she pew-pewed him up, she was just like, bam, I shot you, but you'll be fine. And she walked away, right? The Court TV and other channels are calling this the you'll be fine case. Because she was like, oh, boy, please, I just shot you in your foot. And then after a while, she's like, well, wait, he ran around a little bit, right? After, the shootation, he ran around a little bit, and she was like, oh, well, he done fell down, but that seems good. And she left, and then she came back, and she was like, you still not up? Pedro, oh, this looking bad. Boop, boop, boop. Hello, 911. I found my ex-boyfriend and somebody done shot him. Now, Daisy is no fool. She was just like, wait, I have this handy dandy pistol. Let me just throw this away in my own bushes where I live. Daisy girl, you are not good at crime. She tossed the gun on her own property. And then when the police came, she lied. Now, should Daisy have lied to the police? No, but Daisy does not seem like a woman with amazingly good judgment or character, but she did help. She called the 911, and when they got there, they were just like, who is this man? And she's like, oh my God, it's Pedro. Pedro, don't leave me. but please stop beating me. But please don't leave me. Help, help. Somebody get him help. And so there's a dispute as to whether or not Daisy helped after the police arrived. According to Daisy, she helped. She called the police. Now, when the police showed up, and she also tied a tourniquet around his leg to try and help stop the bleeding. She didn't want him like dead. She just wanted to lightly shoot him to make him stop. See, also, I think the cocaine killed him. I mean, her bullet didn't help the situation. She didn't apply like a medical bullet to him. It was sort of a I'm real mad, get away from me bullet. But like, listen, I'm not on this jury. Thank goodness. Because if I was on the jury, I would be like, this seemed like a public service unaliving. I mean, I know that's not like a law or anything. And you can't have people going out here and shooting others. But like, this case, I don't know. Maybe she should do like some prison time, but not like life. That seems really, really excessive. Also, he pistol whipped her the day before. She was trying to leave the state. Now, there's some dispute as to how he got to her house. According to her, he showed up uninvited. According to the state, she went and picked him up and brought him to the house so he could see the kids. But then he started wilding out. And so I was like, I mean, relationships are complicated. She was trying to leave. And when someone is trying to leave, that's usually the most dangerous time. And so I'm like, oh, this case is going to be sticky. It is not at all what I thought it was. Team Daisy. Okay, but look, we will wait and we will see. Here's another little hiccup in this case. The police went around to all the neighbors because, you know, Daisy is like, oh, I don't know what happened. Somebody shot him. This is terrible. Please don't look in that bush over there because there might be a gun in it. So the police went around and they got all like the security footage and ring footage from all the neighbors. One of the neighbors has a camera that recorded a good deal of this. And so the police were like, hey, boy, hey, how you doing? Listen, somebody got shot over there the other day. And if you had some ring video footage or something, we would really, really appreciate it. And he was like, of course, I'm happy to help the police. But here's the thing. This is a very old video system that it doesn't record like to the cloud. It backs up onto like DVDs and stuff. It's an old system and I just use it for my personal security. I didn't know that the police were going to need it. So they were like, okay, can we just download it? And he was just like, yes, of course. Now the police watched the footage standing there with their body cams and the neighbor was there when they watched the footage and they were like, oh yeah. This is absolutely something we're going to need. And so he's like, well, wait, there's a little slot in here. You can stick a little memory stick and we could download the footage. And so they tried to download the footage onto a memory stick, but it wouldn't work. This was an old system. So they were like, listen, I know what let's do. We are going to take your whole system and we're going to take it back to our police station and we're going to download it. The technicians will do whatever they do. And then we will give you your system back. No problem. And he's like, okay, great. Because y'all only need like this little bit of footage. This is going to be real good. So they take the machine, the DVD, whatever they took from his house, and they took it to the police station and it accidentally got erased. The whole tape. I'm sure it wasn't a tape, but you know what I'm saying, oldsters, you know from tape. The whole tape got erased. And so the police were like, hey, Your Honor, listen, we downloaded it. But see, what happened was it all got erased, not just the little bit that they were trying to capture. It erased the whole tape. Everything from before the crime for months and months and months. All this man's footage got erased. Well, there were no other alleged crimes committed on the rest of the tape. So he kind of didn't care. But he was like, yeah, I gave them a tape, but like, it's all blank now. The state is like, right. It got erased. That was an accident. That was an oopsie erasure. Just like this was an oopsie unaliving. Can we just call it fair and give her 5 years and let her go on with the rest of her life? Oh, no, that's not how court works. Okay. So because this tape was erased, the state is still fighting to get the footage admitted through other means. But the defense is like, no. You don't have the tape. You don't have the case. Yeah, no. Yeah, she lied to the police because she was scared and she has terrible judgment. See, also, he pistol whipped her the day before. The cocaine might have killed him anyway. What are we doing here? And so there was a lot of back and forth and back. And court adjourned early. And I was like, wait. Now, we know the case is not going to get thrown out, but will this vital piece of tape information be able to be used in this court case because it got erased? Unclear. We don't know. Okay, so look. All the jurors got to go home early. I was sitting there left clutching all of my pearls, cheering for Daisy and her very, very poor judgment. Now listen, this is my hope for Miss Daisy. First of all, when she saw the 911 footage of Pedro just laying out there like bleeding out and stuff on the sidewalk, she was very sad. She covered her face. She was crying and stuff. You could tell she loved him. I believe she is very, very sorry. Isn't that enough? This was an accident. I mean, listen, I know I sound like Sarah Boone where she's like, yes, I put the man in a suitcase and zipped him up. It was an accident. It was unintentional. This unfortunate unaliving was unintentional. So this case rolls on today. I will be here on the very edge of my seat. The edge of my seat, I tell you, because I am dying to know what happens next in the state of Florida versus Daisy Link. Daisy did very bad things. Daisy has very bad judgment. Also, I'm Team Daisy. Listen, don't judge me. Okay, judge me if you want. What do I care? Listen, we're going to stay tuned. And you know how we do. I will see you next crime. Bye.